Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing. Today is a very special day, and I will tell you why. Today is the day that I finally complete the pop culture series. After all these years, it's been maybe 7 or 8 years. I've been working on this series since I was about 12 years old, and that's always been sort of at the core of my sort of goals for collecting is to complete this series, and it's finally done. So with no time to waste, we might as well just get right into this. So let's do that. Like I said, this is kind of crazy. I never really thought I'd get to this. You know, I've slowed down on the series in recent years just because I've had so many other projects that I've been working on. But really, like I said, this is the big moment because when I was about maybe 12 or 13, I found out about the series, and that's really when I started getting into collecting, and I got maybe like half the series within a year, and then throughout the years following, I've gotten some here or there. Some of the harder to get ones, like the miniatures, and the Christmas Dean Martin particularly was kind of a pain to find, but this is the last one, and there is a reason why I waited to get this one last, which I will get into soon enough. But this tape is really screwing up my knife here. Let's see. Well, it's packed very well, which I am grateful for. I got this off of eBay. I can't remember how much I paid, but I can check that in a moment. Let's see. Oh, this is great. I'm gonna get a... I'm probably going to need a bigger knife. Let's see. Oh, here we go. This should work. There we go. And there we go. Box is open. I'm gonna have to clean these knives. They got crap all over them now. I'm not sure what kind of tape this is, but it's very effective. All right. And here is the item. Very packed and in good shape, it seems. I think this is brand new. And if you've read the title of this video, you probably know what item it is, but this is the mini Hank Williams Jr. This is it. This is the last one. I'm going to be doing a restoration of this, provided that it needs a restoration. I said I would do one with my last video, but I didn't end up needing to do anything. So here it is. And let's take it out of the packaging. All right, this might be a piece. It's a little difficult, right? There we go. Oop. There it is. And this is my first time ever seeing this character in person. Here it is. Now, as I said, I've been holding out on getting this one for years, and I always said that this was going to be the last one that I get. And the reason for that is that I'm not sure if this is still an issue, but every time this video would get put up on a channel like GMA or even a smaller channel, it would get immediately struck down because of the song. I'm not sure exactly what the issue is there. It gets copyright stricken almost every time. Hopefully that will not happen with this video, but if it does, I'm gonna have to cut the activation in half via editing or something along those lines. But I just wanted to say this real quick. I'm reviewing a product, and that is completely protected by fair use. So if this gets struck down, I will appeal it. Anyway, let's get into this. So I'm gonna need to actually take this out of the packaging itself, unfortunately. Let's see if I can like get the tape off without having to cut it, and then I can maybe tape it back on or something like that. I can already tell, can't move the head. Split gear. So we're gonna be doing a restoration on this, ladies and gentlemen. So that should be fun. Get all this stuff out of the way, and yeah, we're gonna be taking this out. Now I don't know if this actually has batteries in it yet. It does have the try me option, which I'm kind of nervous maybe it did have batteries in it and they're corroded, which will be an additional part of this restoration. Hopefully it didn't have any batteries at all, or it's not corroded and they're just dead. But due to the age of this thing, all signs are pointing to the fact that there's going to be some corrosion. All right, here it is. I'm gonna go get batteries for it, so stay tuned. We're gonna test it. Oh, what do you know? Look at this. What did I tell you? This is gonna be a mess. I'm gonna go get towels. I'll get new batteries. I have rubbing alcohol here. Now, I clean battery compartments with rubbing alcohol, isopropyl. Some people may say use vinegar, it's better. And I don't do that because it smells like garbage. It's disgusting, and it makes your items smell like it just got peed on. So don't use vinegar unless you want to end up feeling like you need a shower. All right, so we're just going to take these batteries out and clean all of these contacts. And I'm going to speed up this segment a little bit because, you know, it's going to be a little long. But anyway, here goes. All right, so this has been cleaned out basically to the best of my ability. It's got some rust, which is kind of making me think that maybe this wasn't enough. It may need contact replacements, which I can do, but hopefully that's not the case. I'm going to try it with new batteries. All right, test number 1. Let's see how this goes. No, yeah. I'm going to have to open the base up, unfortunately. So I'll see you on the flip side of that. All right, so this looks pretty bad with the replacement contacts. Hopefully this should work, but it is like sort of, you hear it. I'm going to see what I can do with replacing the contacts. Basically, all you need to do is just slide these little things out, basically like that, push them down, slide them out, and you can replace each and every one of them. I don't think all of them need to be replaced, but there's definitely a few that need to. Let me open this up real quick and I'll show you what I mean. Now, the two contacts that seem particularly bad would be that one up there, which is the one that is connected to the black wire here. And also that bottom one there is just horrendously screwed up. So I'm going to replace those two. I'm not going to leave the camera on while I do that because I don't think it's necessary. Like I said, I can actually just pop one of them out right now and show you what I mean. Yeah, if you just sort of like slide this through here, can't really do it without, well, let me see. Yeah, it just kind of goes through and it'll pop out the other side. So that's how you get those out. It's simple enough, but I'm gonna work on that. All right, quick update. So I just resoldered these two joints here, and I actually got it to work. Now, what I'm going to do is actually take each of these contacts out and clean them more. I'm not going to be needing to replace them, which is good, but I'd like to sort of have them clean just so that I don't run into any issues in the future. But yeah, I got it to work. Here it is. The head's working a little bit. That's gotta have a split gear though. I mean, it wasn't moving at all before. I don't know actually. It's okay, but now of course doesn't work. What'd you expect from it? I'm guessing maybe the head was stuck. I don't know. It still doesn't seem very... Oh, maybe not. I don't know. It might have just been stuck or locked up. It seems okay, though. The gear seems fine, but we'll see how long that lasts. All right. I also want to add real quick. Even though I got this thing brand new, this is in poor condition. You know, you can already see some slight discoloring. And it's not like... I'm not going to get rid of this, but... The hat is busted up. I have the two pieces that broke. They came broken. You can kind of see it in the video a little bit if you look hard enough. I mean, that's unfortunate, but not much you can do about it, right? But for being a brand new item, it's not in the best of condition. But I'll be able to get those pieces back in there, so there might be like a little glue stain or something like that, but it won't be as noticeable as a giant hole in the hat. So if you can see here, this contact is just horrendously corroded. I'm going to tell you what I do to get rid of that corrosion. I mean, it's not going to look perfect, but I can get as much of it off as possible. So I'll keep applying alcohol and scraping it off with this flathead screwdriver. I will then take a little piece of sandpaper, which I have here, just about that big, and sand down the areas where it's still rusty or I'm having issues scraping it off. So the sandpaper will take it right off. It'll scratch the metal and it'll, you know, it won't, it's never going to look perfect. It's not going to look new again, but it is what it is. It's better than having to replace the contacts. Honestly, I'm running out of contacts. All right, so I've been scraping away at this for like 15 minutes now. And this is about as good as it's going to get, but I'm going to move on to the other ones and give it the same treatment. They still work. They're fine. But as you can see, they're in rough shape. All right, so I actually got it looking pretty good. I'm going to be putting batteries in this, and next up on the list is to fix the mouth. That's the only other thing that needs to be done, actually. The head is perfectly fine. It was just stuck, I guess, before, and the dancing works perfectly. So the mouth is up next, and after that, maybe some general cleaning up, and we'll be ready to review this thing. Of course, providing the restoration on the mouth goes well, which I believe it will. So I'm going to lay the camera out to show you the repair on the mouth mechanism. I'm going to be popping the head off. There are 2 staples in the back, and I believe it's also hot glued in the front. So I'll have to be removing that. The piece down here is actually, it's James Brown's, like it's it's not the same color as his head. This is from the James Brown mechanism. I'm not sure why exactly they reused it instead of changing the color, but it doesn't matter too much. But that's interesting. And yeah, we're gonna be finishing this project up right now. So the first thing we're gonna need to do is take this mouth out, hopefully without breaking it. Let's hope for the best here, but that's what's gonna be done now. following that, both of these staples are going to be removed, and I'm going to pry the head off. All right. And mouth is out. Boom, done. Didn't need to break it. I forgot it uses this metal piece here, which is good because they don't snap like the plastic ones. That was easy enough. Let's move on. Yes. And I'm using this flathead screwdriver here, which is good for kind of digging underneath. It's very small. A bigger flathead screwdriver won't work as effectively, but this one's so tiny that I can just dig underneath the staples without issue. Right, there's the other staple. Getting that second staple out was a little more tricky, but I got it done fairly effectively. Only took a couple seconds. Let's get this head off. It is hot glued on, so let's see. I might have to pry it off, but I think I can get it off. Oh, you know what? I know what the issue is. There's another staple in there. I didn't even realize. That is really hilarious. Okay, I'll get that out. I'll try to get it out without ruining it. Let's see. Yeah, you see this staple got really screwed up. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do, if I'm going to be able to even get it back in, but we'll see. Hopefully I can kind of shape it back into form. All right, yeah, I just got that last staple out. That was kind of a pain, but here it is. I'm going to be able to pop the head off pretty easily now, I believe. Let's set the camera down. All right, there we go. I'll show you. It looks like down here, it's a James Brown mechanism, like I said. Pretty interesting how they do this. I thought they had the same mechanism as the President's. Actually, in fact, I think the Dean Martin does. So I'm not sure why this one uses the same one as the James Brown, but the piece doesn't look like it's too badly split yet, which is good, but I do have replacements, which I will probably be putting on there. Aside from that, I believe the motor's just locked up, but I guess we'll have to take a look at that. It really seems to me that the motor's just locked up. If you see, it's not moving at all right now. I do have a replacement motor, but if I can get this one freed up, I'll just try to keep it on this one, but we'll see how that goes. I also want to add, the way you free up a motor is really, you can let it sit and just keep playing it, or you could kind of do it yourself and just twist it, or get a pair of pliers and twist it with that or something like that. There's a bunch of ways you can do it. I also heard that it might be effective if you got like a drill and you put the spindle in between the where the drill bit goes in and just keep spinning it. That works too. I've never tried that, so I'm not quite sure of its effectiveness, but those are all options. All right, so that motor is freed up. I don't think I need to do a replacement motor. We'll see how it works with the actual mechanism attached, or the little gear piece. I have a replacement, which I'm going to go get soon. I did have to use pliers to get it to move. I couldn't do it with my hands. It was really stuck, but it is freed up now, and it's pretty fast. So I'm glad that there's not a huge issue there. This is usually what ends up happening with these mouth mechanisms over time. They just get very locked up. Alright, so one last update before I go. I'm gonna head back now. I'm at the workshop, but I'm going to be going back to my place to get that replacement part. I have 3D printed little motor shaft gears that I made probably a couple months ago, which are the right size for that. And yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna show you what it looks like with the old gear on, because it still does work, but it's not gonna last very long. I can already tell that thing's gonna split in half any second now, but here it is. The motor freed up very well, as you can see. Also, you can see this here. I was able to get those two little pieces that sort of crumbled off back in there, and there's glue residue all over, I know. I'm gonna see what I can do to mend that. I think I have some solutions, but I was able to get them back in, which was hard enough on its own. But yeah, it is annoying that it looks like that. It came with those pieces busted in, which is unfortunate, but at least I was able to find them. I think I should be able to get it, just those little areas there where there's residue all over, get it naturally colored again. So anyway, I'll see you back at my repair room, where we will be finishing this restoration up and moving on to a review. Alright, so I should have a few of those little gears left. I don't know where they are. Let me see. Wait. So I got about, how many? Like 9 of these gears printed, and I got the new gear on there, and I'm gonna be sending a few of these out to people who needed them. For the head, I polished over this glued area. You can still see it pretty well, but in the right lighting, it's not noticeable at all. I might do a little bit more to make it less noticeable, but it's definitely better than before. It was kind of horrendously, you know, it stuck out like a sore thumb, but now it's a little better. I'm gonna keep working at it, but this is probably as good as it's gonna get. Not too bad though. So here is Hank Williams Jr. in all of his glory. Now that this item is finished, this is an indication that I have completed on my end the entire pop culture series. So what does that mean? Well, it honestly means that I spent a large portion of my life collecting dancing toys, but I think it goes a little beyond that, and I can say that soon enough I will be making a collection video of these where I show all of them together. I need to get all the ones that I have in storage out to do that, so don't expect it immediately, but it will happen. And I have one more associated item, which I'll probably make a video on next, that I've been sort of waiting on for a few reasons, but that's going to be the last one, and then I'm going to move on to other things. But anyway, I am happy to have completed the series. You'll be seeing more of it in the future. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this item. I purchased it on eBay for a little less than $45, which is probably way too much to be paying for this sort of thing. But, you know, it's been so long, and this was the last one I needed, so I just kind of bit the bullet on it, and I can't say that I regret it too much. This was made in 2004. It was one of the several miniature versions of the pop culture characters that were made. I mentioned in my last video basically all the ones that they did as a miniature, but they were doing a lot of these in 2004, the last year of the pop cultures, and I have all of them. I'm not sure which one my favorite is. I do like the Hank Williams Jr., but Dean Martin's just probably my favorite character in general, with maybe a few exceptions. Yeah, so this one has several movements. The head turns back and forth. Of course, the mouth moves, and it also has a miniature hip swinging mechanism. Now, I showed this a little bit while I was doing the restoration, but it's the exact same mechanism that James Brown has. They literally use the exact same molds, so it's not, how can I say this, skin color accurate or whatever. The mouth has been restored. The staples are back in the neck, which I'll show you here. I got this one in, which was probably the most difficult because it was kind of in an awkward place. And the two in the back, there's one and there's two. So those are the original staples. I didn't even find random ones to throw in there. I also cleaned them up quite a bit. As you can see, the base is shiny. And he also had some residue and stuff from the hat on the face. That's cleaned up now. Like I said, this top of the hat there had missing pieces that had to be glued back. So that's basically all I have to say for cosmetics. This thing was sold at places like JCPenney, KB Toys, a few drugstores, maybe Eckerd or Kmart or something along those lines, as well as various online retailers. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that it wasn't too difficult to find this guy in 04, and there's plenty of them out there. I mean, you find them on eBay a lot. The bigger version is a little bit more common to come across, but this one's not exactly impossible to find either. Anyway, I'll get to reading you the box here. It says, Hank Williams Jr., Try Me, Bocephus. That's his little nickname. For the Louis Armstrong one, they also include his nickname, which is Satchmo. So yeah, it sings Born to Boogie, Pop Culture Series. It's got his little icon there. Very nice. Same stuff here, but it's got a picture of the real guy, Hank Williams Jr., 3 AA batteries, and the segment for Born to Boogie is shorter than the one that's used on the bigger one. I'm not sure if that has to do with the amount of batteries it takes or if they just wanted to make it shorter for whatever reason. And obviously the bigger one sings Family Tradition as well, which this one does not have. I like Born to Boogie a little bit better, honestly, anyway, but that's definitely a less popular song. I think a lot more people would recognize Family Tradition, especially country fans. Born to Boogie is more of a country rock sort of thing. So let's read the back here. There's not actually that much. Usually there's a ton there, but Hank Williams Jr., Bocephus. Hank Williams Jr. is an American original, a rebel and a patriot. Raised in Southern culture and nicknamed Bocephus by his father, country music patriarch Hank Williams, Hank Jr. achieved international stardom, acknowledged by no less than 10 major industry awards. The man who was born to boogie has demonstrated fierce staying power with a career spanning 5 decades and almost 70 albums. That's a lot. Hank Williams Jr.'s performances are historic, good-time events where straight talk from a conscientious heart blend with familiar, powerful music. Now this animated likeness lets you enjoy the spirit of the country legend's famous concerts. A unique pop culture collectible, Hank Jr. swings his hips and arms, turns his head from side to side, and moves his mouth to the words of his upbeat song, Born to Boogie. Pop Culture Series, own an original collector's edition animated figure. There's the mini James Brown, Hank Williams Jr. That's the large one there, Hank Williams Jr. Sr. Dean Martin and John Belushi as well. They never made a large John Belushi. They always just had the small one. Not sure exactly what year that was made in, maybe 03. Your Gemmy original features Synchromotion, a cutting-edge animation technology that synchronizes the motion of the mouth to words or songs, allowing an inanimate figure to come to life before your very eyes. www.gemmy.com, 2004 Gemmy Industries, Coppell, Texas, item number 39233. There we have it. That's it for the box. I like how short they made the blurb on this one because usually my eyes start going bad after about 7 or 8 paragraphs of reading. So it's very nice to have only 2 paragraphs, I must say. Anyway, we're going to activate this thing. I'm going to show you it once or twice. But it is fully working and it looks great. So anyway, here it is. All right, that was absolutely great. We're going to play it again, and I'm going to give you a better look at the item on this second activation here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that is going to conclude my review of the Gemmy Industries animated pop culture series Hank Williams Jr. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know, I guess. And more content should be coming soon, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next one. Figure to come to life before your very eyes. I always like how they add that little blurb there because no one cares.